Alright, to create your teacher self map, you're going to go ahead and open up Inspiration, click on Diagram. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to import your self image that you resized in PhotoFlexer. If you go up to Edit, Insert Graphic, navigate to where you have your picture stored. I'm going to use the generic Wonder Woman here. Make sure you've adapted it to the right size. These are very easy to resize in here. Double click on where it says the main idea, and the main idea is going to be your name. You're going to put INST 3133 section 10 spring 2013. Now, in order to add your 5 dispositions, you're going to click on Wonder Woman, or excuse me, your self image, and you can click on Create, but you need to make sure you always go back to the main idea, because this is where you're going to be webbing off of. And the other option is, if you want to, you can click on Outline. You can see that Wonder Woman's the main idea, and you want to have 5 topics surrounding her, so you can click until you see that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 topics. You can also go in here and type in your SOE disposition, which would be the actual disposition, not SOE disposition. Or you can copy and paste in here. Now, when you look at your outline view is just a nice view from the diagram, but it gives you the same representation. So if I wanted to be in the first tier, and I know now I have to have 2 supporting subtopics off of the main disposition, I can click, A and B right here. So when I go back to my diagram, you'll now see that off of my self image, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I can move around and space out for my disposition bubbles. And then now I've got my 2 subtopic attributes or behaviors about the disposition. For these, I'm actually going to change them into objects by simply selecting them and then navigating around over here and selecting an object. So each of your 5 dispositions are going to have 2 bubbles off of them. So just remember that when you're designing it, so that you can have enough graphics representation. Now, sorry, I just misdid those. Those don't need to be those. You can undo if you ever mess up like that. What you will need to do though is when you click on your behavior, you're supposed to add a note. To add a note, you simply come up here and click Note, and then you're going to type in what you will do to exhibit this behavior or attribute in your class. So you'll actually provide an example in the note. Now the tricky thing about the notes is, technically if you click on the little note button, it disappears, but it only works when you're in Inspiration, the program. And since we have to post this to your Google Docs, you will need to make sure to export it with the notes open so that I can grade it accordingly to the rubric. However, you will need to export it as a JPEG file, which I believe in your directions says a PNG file. If you do PNG, I won't see the note. But if you do a JPEG, I will. So if you go to File, Export, go to your Graphics tab, leave it as a JPEG, and hit Save. Make sure you save it to the correct location. And then you will be able to, then when you open up the file, I can actually go into the file that I saved it in, and here you will see that there are actually the notes. So this is what you will need to submit and upload into the submission tool in Blackboard. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me.